Someone take that nice and loud. Or two people.
Take that, I'll start. 10. In Damascus there was a disciple named Ananias. The Lord called Ananias. Yes, Lord, he answered. The Lord told him, go to the house of Judas on Straight Street and ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul, for he is praying. In a vision he has seen a man named Ananias come and place his hands on him to restore his sight. Lord, Ananias answered, I have heard many reports about this man and all the harm he has done to your saints in Jerusalem. He has come here with authority from the chief priests to arrest all who call on your name. I will show him how much he must suffer for my name.
Well, I'm going to read that 16 one more time because it's very vital. For I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake. Thinking about this, and the context point is not necessarily hiding out, he's just staying somewhere. What is it that Ananias here as well? And if you think about it, if any of you guys are Christmas movie watchers, every year our family tries to watch Miracle. On 34th Street? 34th Street, is it? Miracle on 3rd? And the same scenario happens in that. It's very, very close parallel. Is that the right one? No.
Miracle on the Chalk District.
What's that? Wonderful Life. Yes, that's the name. Thank you. Wonderful Life. That's the one I was trying to think.
You know you got a case, right? You don't have to watch that.
Anyway, so Saul and Ananias both do not have a choice. They are chosen. And so 9:15, the Lord says to Ananias, go, for he is a chosen instrument of mine. And let me emphasize the word mine. He's not a chosen one of Christianity. It's very personal here. And I believe that every day in our lives, Christ has personal interaction with us as well. We are his. He doesn't ever say, he's one of my 10,000 cattle. No, he says, he is Marcus, or he is Bryan, or he is Lowell, or he is Ben. He is mine. Very personal. And then finally, he says, I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake. Let's talk about that for a minute.
I'm getting a lot of free
what does it
frames. I
mean
don't know
to
if it's
suffer
just my phone or
for God's name's sake? What was he talking about?
Are you getting smooth video? Yeah.
That God was going to show him he was doing it. Basically, he thought he was more powerful than God. He was wrong.
Okay.
In a sense. I guess it'll remind him who he's dealing with.
Okay, who he's dealing with, but his ministry is going to be one of hardship and scorn and ridicule. But what we'll see is Saul, or becoming Paul here in a minute, is such a fanatic or a zealot for Christianity now that he is willing to walk in the middle of a battlefield over to the enemy's bunker, walk into it, and tell them about Christ. And that is something that we need to consider in our lives.
Amen.
Are we open to sharing the gospel with all that we are? Are we zealots for God? That is a perfect example of a Christian saying, I'm dying to self and living for Christ. And of course, we know in Romans and in all his other epistles, that's one thing that he preaches. He shares with passion.
Yeah. So he basically
took Saul from this side, from the, actually
From the bad guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
going to persecute to being persecuted.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm. So it gives him. I mean, Saul has a better insight on what's going on than anyone else.
That's a good point. Yeah. Saul is gonna. He's okay. Imagine this: you're a spy for the Russians, okay, and you do all the Russian work, and then all of a sudden you switch to the American side.
Yeah.
You kind of know where all the hideouts are and stuff, and all the ins and outs of.
That's true, but
I never thought about that. That's a good perspective.
But then on the other hand, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I did,
Yeah.
so I know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be pretty.
And that goes to speaking with what the what's the exact word I'm sure say it right. He must suffer for my name's sake, right?
Yeah.
That goes to that point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 17 through 22. Somebody want to take that? We're almost done here.
So Ananias departed and entered the house, and laying his hand on him, he said, Brother Saul, Lord, Jesus who appeared to you on the road by which you came has sent me so that you may regain your sight and be full of the Holy Spirit. And immediately something like scales fell from his eyes, and he regained his sight. Then he rose and was baptized, and taking food he was strengthened, or in his name. And taking food he was strengthened. For some days he was with the disciples at Damascus, and immediately he proclaimed Jesus in the synagogue, saying, He is the Son of God. And all who heard him were amazed and said, Is not this man who made havoc in Jerusalem of those who call upon his name? And he has not come here for this purpose, to bring them bound before the chief priests. But Saul increased all the more in strength and confounded the Jews who lived in Damascus by proving that Jesus was the Christ.
All right. So Ananias carries out his task. He was asked to lay hands on Saul, who becomes Paul here. And that's the extent of his work. It is Christ who is working through Ananias that, of course, heals Saul of that challenge of being blind.
I just want to wonder what Ananias said at the time he leaves his house to the time he gets to Saul. I mean, there has to be some terror there, right? I mean, you have to be. I don't know. This guy, he's killed people, murdered people, or had them killed.
Yeah, well, he said that in the previous verse. He says, "And this is the dude that is taking us out," and so yeah, there's got to be fear. But Ananias is faithful.
Yeah, exactly.
And continues to do the will of God.
So walking up to the room and actually seeing this man, there is temptation, I'm not doing this. I'm getting ready to take off. But you go through it in anyway.
Right.
And I was just wondering, what was going on in his head at that exact moment when he saw Saul.
That is the Blues Brothers mission from God.
Yeah.
That's what he said. You gotta get this done.
I get the.
And his actions, spoke way louder than his words. He was baptized and he started preaching.
Yes. Let's talk about that real quick. That baptism that they're speaking of here is baptism of the Spirit. Okay? They didn't take him to a lake or to a river or something like that and go through that ceremony. It's just, he was converted. That's what it's saying here. He is no longer of them, he is of us. And from this day forward, he is, and that's kind of what's being said here in the verses. From this day forward, his zealousness, whatever, has switched sides. And now is not only as passionate for Christ, but probably even more so because he has not only his whims, but Christ's whims in him. What's that? Zeal. Yep. His zeal.
Velocity.
Velocity.
Yeah, teachers at the state.
New word.
All right, so what I was saying before, the battlefield. Let's look at the verses 9, 20, 21, and 22. And immediately he began to proclaim Jesus in the synagogue, saying, He is the Son of God. Now, okay, here's the picture. We have synagogues, we have places that now Paul has been probably several times sharing the Torah, sharing the Jewish belief system, and now he is like, no, I'm going to be telling you a new message. I'm going to tell you about Jesus Christ, who, by the way, you guys put on the cross. And this is the first, this goes, and I'll say this several times throughout Romans when we get into this starting next week, but this is the first time that Paul shows he will always go to the Jews first and then to the Gentiles. No matter where he goes, it's always the Jews first and then the Gentiles. His mission, as we see throughout his timeline, is to convert Gentiles. But he still goes first to the Jews and then to the Gentiles, in the hope